there was a month where we did our best revenue ever. And in that same month, we spent more money that came in. So a record on paper and a minus in the bank account. And that is the best money lesson I've ever got in business. Because everyone sees a big number and thinks that's what we earn. But the truth is completely different. And stay until the end, because I will show you the one thing I changed after that month. The safeguard that made sure it never happened again. So let's go. So first thing you have to understand, revenue is not profit. Revenue is just everything that came into the bank account. It's the number everyone shows online because it sounds big, but on its own it means nothing, because out of that money you still have to pay for everything. I will show you in a second, you can have your best revenue ever and at the same time actually lose money. So when someone says we did 6 figures, that tells you nothing until you know how much is left. Okay, and now the most important part, because this explains you how you can even spend more than you made. In an agency like ours, a huge part of that revenue is not our money. It's our clients' ad budgets. Money that just flows through the business. It comes in and it goes straight back out to Meta ads, Google ads, and LinkedIn ads. And here is the catch. Very often we have to pay for those ads out of our own pocket before the client pays us. So first we put our own money into someone else's campaigns, and only later it comes back to us. And that's exactly how you can have a record month and a minus in the bank at the same time, because we paid out more than came in that moment. That's exactly what happened. We had a great month. This was August 2025. Lots of clients, lots of campaigns, record revenue. On paper, everything looked amazing. But the more campaigns we ran, the more we had to put up front for ads. On top of that came the rest of the cost of running a company. And at the end of the month, even with a record, we came out below zero. So the best month on paper was one of the hardest in reality. Growth without cash control is very dangerous. The faster you grow, the more you have to pay upfront. And if you don't have that handled, your best month can sink you harder than a weak one, because a weak month is predictable, but fast record growth, if you don't watch your cash, it eats you from the inside. So most businesses don't fall because they have too few clients. They fall because they grow faster than their cash can keep up. So from that moment I put strict safeguards in place. No campaign starts if the company would have to put up too much of its own money at once. So we keep a cushion we never touch. And right now I watch not the revenue, but how much cash actually moves through the business and how much stays. I know, this is not sexy. It's not the thing people post on Instagram, but because of it, a month like that one never happened again. And because the most important skill in business is not making more money, but it's not letting your own growth kill you. So here is the point. Revenue is ego, and cash and profit are the true. The big number alone tells you nothing about whether someone is actually making money. I've known businesses with huge revenue that barely broke even. We lived through a month like that ourselves. And sure, you can look at the bigger players. You can look at the bigger players in your industry to get a rough idea of what level of revenue they are at, and that's useful. That's useful reference point to know roughly where the ceiling is in your space. But don't take the number literally, because you don't know their costs or how much actually how much actually stays with them. So their big revenue might be barely breaking even. So compare the level to orient yourself, but don't compare yourself to someone's number as if it were their profit. So in reality, only a small percent of revenue stays a profit. Usually it is about between 10 to 20%. In HR agencies, software houses, marketing agencies, and generally this is about between 10 and 20%. So build your business by looking at your own cash and what's left, not at what looks nice in someone else's post. Because for example, your 30,000 in real profit is worth more than someone's 400,000 in revenue that leaves nothing behind. So yeah, so tell me in the comments, did it surprise you that you can have a record month and still come out below zero? I read them all, so write. And if you want more honest stuff from behind the scenes of running a business, subscribe this channel. Here I show how it really looks without filter. So if you want more, subscribe. I'm Jacob from Lemon Agency, and see you in the next one.